Oh, girl. Oh, I'm
Anyway,
happy for you.
what are you
I'm happy
guys
for you.
what are you chit-chatting about?
Oh, look, we were talking about peanuts and cashews and whatnot.
Oh, I mean, 'cause I was eating.
All right.
So anyway, we
So,
have a jam.
Carolyn,
Oh,
I want the chat BCC update. Did Colton ever respond to you? Because I woke
no,
up.
He
he's gone.
left.
He
He's gone.
did.
That's why I was comfortable talking shit.
He
Yeah.
left.
He
He left the group.
left.
That's why I said that. I was like, "Where's Colton?" and blah 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 blah, because he was gone. And the theory is that because he was getting sick of the tomato things, the tomatoes being
Oh,
thrown at him. Yes, and so he left. And I think too, I didn't know the controversy on him. Like, like,
yeah.
did I know? I'd heard about it, but I didn't know that people still like. And again, this isn't everyone, but a lot of people. I didn't know they hated him that much. Or hate's a strong word. I didn't know they
Yeah.
just right. Did you know that people were like they're like no.
Yeah,
People
because
are
I did like a super deep dive on him before the show because I didn't know that much about him. I don't really watch The Bachelor, and so I wasn't like in with all that story. And so someone sent me like a lot of stuff on him with like the ex-girlfriend and the stalking and all. So I kind of educated myself on Colton Underwood. And so I kind of knew that there was a lot of that out there. However, to be honest, don't you feel like the show is not working against him? I feel that the show is very much working for him in terms of the edit, in my opinion. Like,
okay. This is
what
gonna
do
be
you
hard
think?
because we all talk a lot and we all my opinion, Queen, you tell me differently because I feel like you're very level-headed. I feel like the
Latanya,
the
Eric David.
I feel like the edit may want us to believe that he's like this great person and he's
Mhm.
clearly getting the stereotypical.
Yes.
And I don't even want and I don't even wanna compare him to I don't wanna be like Dylan or Pilot Pete, I truly do not. However, he's clearly getting the, like, "I'm the leader," but isn't he literally
Yes.
saying that he's the faithful, and "I wanna lead the charge," but there is something and this is, like, the difference between people who are, in my opinion, authentic and just genuine and real, and I feel like it's giving such it's not authentic, it's not genuine. Let's say I don't know crap about him. I'm not even bringing
Right.
in my Bible. I literally just get this feeling that this guy is like seen the other seasons and is trying to copy just that. I'm not kidding. That's how I feel. It doesn't feel genuine. He like you remember
Right.
Dylan? Dylan was shy. When I remember when
Right.
Dylan like, said, "I'm a quiet guy," like he is. He's very
Yep.
introverted. I remember him saying, I just like travel with my dog. Like, and that's true. Like, he is very introverted. This dude, like, and good, I will give Michael some credit when he was like, "You need to humble yourself." He was not humble. I feel like he walked around so cocky, and it
Mhm.
just I did not wanna root for him. He's too trying too hard.
Well,
Good.
I said this
Not lovable.
I said basically the same thing, Carolyn. What's wild is that he can be so wrong and be outed for being so wrong, and it does nothing to shake his confidence in himself that he should continue to lead the charge. Like, that is what society has apparently done for him as a
Yep.
person, that he is able to just be impenetrable to the fact that he has called it wrong so many times, and it doesn't stop him or even make him hesitate from saying something else. Like, he's fine with it. He's like, "Yes, I was wrong. I've been proven wrong. Oh, well, you should still listen to me. It's so and so. It's so." Like, he never shuts up. He apparently has like no shame around being wrong. Like, everybody else that like goes out on a charge and then the person is a faithful and they're wrong, it rattles their confidence in themselves a little bit to where they're like, "Oh gosh, like why did I think that?" Like, they start to question like, what led me there? How can I not repeat this mistake? He doesn't seem to have that mentality. He's just like, I actually, Carolyn, this is going to trigger you. I said that he's more like Tom Sandoval, because Tom
Oh,
Sandoval would do
100.
that. Tom Sandoval
Yes,
would
what
be
people
wrong.
liked. But people couldn't stand Sandoval, and so the only reason I ever compared Tom to Michael was in regards to how people looked at him, treated him like he just didn't matter and his opinions didn't matter. People are the difference.
The difference is
Us
they
may hate him.
listen to Colton.
They're
Yes.
listening to Colton,
Yes.
right? So
They're
Sandra, get your
listening
opinion
to
because we're
Colton.
too loud.
Yeah.
Oh no, that
So,
I wrote in my notes that Colton was telling Christian and Natalie in the car he knows what he's doing and he's not going out like a bitch. That's what he said in the car.
yeah.
And for me, you're right. If I go into the round table, which I did one time, I made an accusation and I was like stern and I was like, I know what I'm talking about. And the minute it wasn't so, I was like, oh, I need to
Oh,
lay back.
lay
I
back.
don't need
Yep.
to be doing this no more. I don't need to be front and center. I need to be careful what I'm saying and who I'm saying it
Yep.
about. But with him, it's like he doesn't care until his feelings get hurt. Then it's a whole different story. So I
And
don't care about him.
I would argue I don't mind people being a little crazy and having, like, opinions all the time and being funny about it. It's the fact that he is literally trying way too hard to be this, like, hero and be, like, the hero of the that's what bothers me. If he was a freaky weirdo, which maybe he is inside, I don't know. I feel like I can root for somebody like that who's a quirky weirdo who can't shut up. Because even there were times before all of the crap happened at the round table for Michael, I was kinda proud of him. I'm like, "Wow, Michael's kinda shutting up, he's getting a little quieter, he's trying, I could see some progress." So even, like, somebody who's, like, annoying, like a Michael who's loud and whatever, I was like, "Wow, okay." But Colton is just it's the try hard of it that is like,
Yeah.
"Ew."
I feel like this castle is an all-time high for loudness between Michael, between Colton, between Renna. Like, you're talking about I cannot imagine being a normal person in this castle. Like a rego who's just trying to live life and survive and actually win the game. You can't get a word in edgewise with these people. Like there's no shot. Like these are all people who are so loud. Even people that we think of as being pretty loud, like Dorinda. I mean, she was yelling at Ivor night one. It's like she doesn't even come across as remotely loud on this season because this season is so full of talking heads who just love the sound of their own voice.
Yeah.
It's like you would have to fight for your life to even be included in the conversation. And that must be so exhausting if you are normal. You know what I mean?
Which Sandra, I know you're good at, like, just getting into every conversation. You say there's 2 different people. How do you think you would have done with this cast?
For the most part, I think because I listen more. For example, Colton, like the minute Tiffany a couple of days back put her strategy forward, the first thing he said, he clocked her as a traitor. I would know to then be like, oh gosh, the minute you say something that makes sense, all of a sudden like I would not be talking to this dude. Like he would not be someone I would confide in. I don't even know how much talking I would do around him. You get what I'm
Yeah.
saying? Like I'm pretty careful. And for me, I think at the beginning, I pretty much want to get to know every single person and let them know, hey, if you got something to say, I'm the kind of person you could come to and talk to until I figure out who my people are. So I
Right.
wouldn't have went in there guns blazing, but I don't really care for him. I really don't. And I don't feel bad about listen, I didn't know those were tomatoes. I wrote like, why what's with all the apples? Like, until it was clarified to me. But even then, like, I mean,
Uh.
he can dish it, he just can't take it. I don't get it.
And also the difference is, okay, so you got Ron who good. You got Ron who is literally, wrong on the first guess, and then they're pissed at Ron because he was wrong about Portia. They're
Portia.
also pissed Portia, they're pissed at Ron because he didn't bring it to he brought all of this evidence to the round table, but not to them face to face. Yeah,
Yeah.
because it's literally like day one and you're not going to shoot this information off with people you don't trust yet. But the way that they have shunned him, yes. And it's the way that his energy level has completely. I remember the first, I was like, he's so great. He's hilarious. He had such great energy and joy, and he genuinely seemed happy to be there. He looks depressed as hell now. He
Yeah.
looks, like, so sad, and when I saw him walk into the room and Dorinda and Steven, like, just completely be silent, they don't even treat traitors who they think are traitor like, if they think there is someone's a traitor, they still don't treat you like that. So that was just like, "What the heck has this guy done?" He came to the round table because that's what they're saying. He was wrong about Portia. Well, go after Colton like that. Colton can
Right.
just get a free pass for
Right.
being wrong and then being annoying and doing it all over again. But Ron, who's not try I wouldn't and I feel like again, you have first impressions of people, and I think he came in jolly and joyful and ready to get to know people a little bit. I do, but I think that the way that they have treated him and shunned him
Yeah.
100%. Of course, now he's caged off. Of course, now he's like, "You're not gonna know the F about my family." That's him, in my opinion, that's his response to, like, "Screw you, you guys." He's given up because, again, he's just been shunned and isolated. Ew.
I would
I
love
don't
to know right now how they feel about seeing all of this on TV after the fact, because we weren't there. Ron had this
girl.
information. He brought it to the round table. They finally did something about it, got Portia out. She was a faithful. So now he's the bad guy. But he only repeated what she said. So I want to know
Right.
now how they feel about how they've treated him, because I told Carolyn earlier, I was saying it on my live. I went live out of, I never really go live, but I decided to go live, and we were talking about that. And
Yes.
I was simply saying, when I went to the Traitors Castle, I wasn't sitting there talking about my family. I don't think I ever mentioned the names of my daughters, or, I left
Yeah.
out
Yeah,
of
girl.
there saying, let me Google Phaedra from Housewives, because I didn't know her last. You know what I'm saying? Like, you don't know these
You were
people.
the
No.
one who
So
told me.
for Dorinda to
You
be like, oh, I'm trying to get to know his family, like, who the
But
fuck
that's the
cares?
Sandra, I remember I asked you, I was like, "Are people like it?" Because I'm really emotional and I like to get to know people and know their story and shit. So I was like, Sandra, remember I asked you that before going out there? I was like, "Do people like get to know each other on like that type of a level, or is it more just like you play this dang game?" And I remember you're like, "Girl, I don't know. We were in the car and people talk about their families, but I fall asleep." I remember
Oh, I
that.
probably did that too. That was in the morning heading to the castle, because they get us up early, then you sit in the car, then you head on it into the castle. I was gonna say,
Mhm.
maybe I should say that. And I'm falling asleep while they're all talking. But in the game, we weren't talking because you can just talk. But in the game, it was strictly about game for those 16 hours.
And I felt like these people didn't give a crap about any of that anyway, but me, I did. I felt like, what is the point? These, like, I felt whatever. That's how I felt. But also, I felt like it did, like, I think someone had said when you get to, somebody made the comparison of like, if, yeah, a traitor wouldn't want to get to know people because then, I don't know, somebody said that. Like, and for me, I didn't want to get to know people because it would hurt my
'Cause
heart to
then you
then
would
have to
be,
do that.
yeah, like, too
Like, and I,
connected.
not that I didn't get to know people, but I didn't wanna be, like, deeply, like, "Ah," and know and have them know my life story about everything, you
I
know?
think this will add some context to that as well. Ron and Donna were really good, like, close. They're, like, actual friends, they're close, and so I think as soon as Donna left, Ron that took some wind out of his sails for sure. Like, first of all, she
So
was
you're
a
saying
traitor.
before the game, they've known
Yes.
each other.
Yes, they've known each other, like, they went
Oh.
as friends, and so I think that
What?
her getting eliminated was a little bit of, like now, that was his friend, right? Like, that was his friend there in the castle, and so when his best friend left, a little bit of his, like, energy left with her because now he's like, "Now I'm stuck with fricking Michael Rappaport by myself with no" you know what I mean? Like, his close person left, and I think that has to do with it as well.
Well, listen, for anyone playing, if you're listening to this podcast, when you go out there, you have to have conversations with everyone. That's like Survivor. That's like
Mhm.
being in the Big Brother house. You can't just decide, I'm going to talk to only 3 people this whole entire game. It does not work like that. You
Girl.
really have to socialize.
Sandra,
And
that's why
Yeah.
I lose every time. I'm so bad at that. I'll be like, "Nah, she'll I'll never need that. I'll never need to call in that favor." And then guess what? That's what gets me out every time. Every time.
It's it's not even like I look at it as it happened so quick for him that people just pooped on him that like people didn't let him in. He went to the round table jolly and woohoo, and they pooped on him and it was done. And then
Yeah.
Donna. So again, it's like it makes sense. Of course, he wasn't talking to y'all right away, like, and saying,
Yeah.
"This is my master plan," but what's so idiotic is the fact that he went to them with information that just had like, what? And at the first
Well, to
roundtable,
be
that's
real,
girl.
if I was in the castle with Ron, I don't think I'd make a huge effort to be his friend at this point anyway, because I think he's on his way out, and I would prefer to
Right.
him go before somehow I end up being
Yep.
talked about at the round table by Colton.
Yep.
So it is what it is. I would have just rolled with the punches, like, okay, he's on the outs. I'm gonna leave him there.
Yep. Me too.
He could have done
Just start making your list longer of like all the ways that he's probably a traitor. That's what I would be doing too. Like,
he
oh,
is
I saw
not.
him do this. Oh, because you really half of the game as a faithful is like anybody but me. And so
Surviving, yeah.
if there is like a
Yeah.
name that's being floated around the castle, you're just going to ride that wave because as long as it's not you, you don't really care who it is and whether they're a traitor or not.
No, I know.
Because you're way too vulnerable, right? Like you're way too vulnerable for murder and banishment. And so the fact that his name is already out there, I would be just rolling with that too. I'd be like, I don't know. I think that trench coat is suspicious. I don't
And listen,
know. I
He
and
think
being a
something's
gamer,
off.
it's even worse for us because
Yeah.
being a gamer now puts us up
Yep.
top tier.
Yep. And I
That's a
knew,
battle.
Sandra, I'm curious what you thought about before the season started. I very much thought that the gamers were going to be screwed this season because of the last two seasons. I was like, the gamer stink
Oh,
is going to stay in the castle. People are not going to trust gamers, blah, blah, blah. So I very much thought that that was going to be the way that this went. It kind of seems like that is the way that it's going. Did you like suspect that it was going to go that way? And did you think that there's anything realistically, is there a lot that the gamers can do to overcome the like stigma that I feel like is now associated with us as gamers because we are just better at playing the game, to be
Well, the
honest?
only thing that helps us now is the fact that season 4 started out with the 2 housewives and the Love Island guy. So now we can go in there and
Yeah.
say, well, we don't always get picked in a turret, but to be honest, let's be real. I would definitely be one of the ones to say, don't look at me as the survivor. Big Brother's always in the turret because Parvati got picked, but she got picked by Dan. She
Yeah.
wasn't put in the
Yeah.
balance. So for me, it would be like,
Yeah.
wait, before you come for the survivors, the
Yeah.
chances are that there's probably a Big Brother person in there. Let's be real. But this helps us moving forward.
Yeah.
And the fans are saying they need like a just a gamer season where we're all gamers. So now we don't know who the
no.
hell is in the turret. But to be
Right.
honest, they're gonna always pick us out. And that kid Rob said in the turret to Candace and to Lisa that they had to get out the people with the strategy, meaning the threats in the
Meaning the
game. He
gamers.
had to get
Yeah.
rid of the threats in the game. And then when this fifth episode started just now, um, they said, and I caught this, and I didn't catch it yesterday. They said they're not gamers or housewives. This is going to destroy the pattern. So whatever's
Right.
happening now,
Oh.
it's not a gamer, it's not a housewife, and that's what's always been the target. Gamers first, then housewives. We're screwed.
We're so screwed. I mean, not us.
But I would
Luckily, we got
play.
in early.
I would just play the
But
game.
Yeah.
but you know what I'm saying? Like, that's what happened last season, and, like, so many of the gamers were gone too by, like,
Yeah, but
Yeah, but
that's
that was
kind of
self.
our fault.
That was you guys did that shit to yourself.
yeah,
Yeah.
but I'm just saying, like, the whole, like, the housewives, and it was like, "We got all
Yeah.
the house," and then there wasn't a housewife in the church. So all I'm saying is, like, what did we expect? So, of course, they're gonna come in hot next time, so
Yeah.
Well,
I don't
and I
know.
do think, like, the reason that I predicted that there would be either one gamer trader or none at all was because I don't think that wants it to be a predictable algorithm. They're going to change it up season after season. So that's exactly why they did 0 gamers this season because it was gamer heavy last season. And they're trying to make it unpredictable so that you can't, because I mean, not everybody, but I constantly was playing production mind. What would production do? Who would
Hated
they
that.
choose? Blah, blah,
Hated
blah.
it.
And so I know you
Girl.
hated it. I know it triggers you, but I would do that. And so that's why I'm shocked that no one in this cast is looking at Rena. Now I
No, it
do think
started.
that
It started. It started.
finally it
Well,
started because
girl,
of Colton, but like to me, Rinna is so obviously the housewife traitor, and it doesn't really seem like she's got eyes on her. And it just, and also, Sandra, I wanted to know what you thought about this. Why? I think I have a suspicion that Dorinda knows that Rinna is the traitor by the way that she said, no, she's not usually that quiet, but she didn't like extrapolate on it. She didn't give too much information where it could come back on her, but she just said, no, you're right. She's usually louder than that. And I thought, oh, Dorinda knows that it's Rinna. I wondered if you
I
guys think the same thing.
sorry.
I
I don't
don't
think so.
know if she's probably trying to stay tight with the housewives because now there's only 3.
Yeah,
She
right.
knows she's not the traitor, so it's got to be one of the
Right.
other 2. So I would stay in their good graces just in case. Let's be real.
For sure.
The first person that brought up Lisa was Monet.
Mm,
Oh,
Because
okay.
yeah.
Candace
Yeah,
is
you're
gonna
right.
say,
And then
"Hey, they
Monet
were
got
talking about you,
murdered.
but just said it to
Yep.
me."
Yep.
Because I
Yep,
was
you're
Yep.
right.
looking
You're right.
Yeah.
in my
Monet brought up.
list here, because yeah. So
Yeah, you're right. So
But no, I
maybe
don't think that.
some, but I'm surprised that there's not more heat on Rinna. And maybe it's just because, first of all, I would have thought she was a traitor looking at the roster. If you gave me the roster and said, who are these traitors going to be? I would have said Rinna and Donna Kelsey both.
the
So that's
sunglasses
number one.
Girl.
all the time.
So haven't you learned from our season that literally it could be anyone? I don't think
No, it
anybody
was
would have
Boston
thought that it's
Rob. That's exactly who everyone would have thought from the roster. They would have said Boston Rob, and guess what it was? No, Carolyn,
two survivors.
Carolyn, there's going to be
Me.
one-offs. There are going to be one-offs, but there are also going to be the obvious choices. And even if they're not, it's at least crossing it off the list. It's like the low-hanging fruit to cross off the list.
Exactly.
Girl.
I'm not saying that there's
I
not going to be one-offs because there are. That Rob
what
guy,
does one-offs
overalls,
mean?
like
Oh, so
surprises. Like doesn't
oh,
really fit the algorithm, but there's like the surprise, which was on season 2, that was Phaedra. You know, no one was looking at Phaedra. She was like the kind of more random seeming choice, right? And so there's going to be those, but I still think that the more obvious seeming ones, you got to cross them off the list. And to me, that's Lisa Rinna on this season.
But see,
I don't know.
I wouldn't know that because I don't follow the
yeah.
housewives. So that would be for me hearsay from someone else telling me how this person
Yeah.
truly acts. I
Yeah.
I wouldn't know.
I just don't like when people do the production thing and we just heard it so much out there. Remember that? And I know you, girl, you're always asking, like, were you in the bathroom? Were you doing it? Oh, stressing me out. I'm like, girl, stop following me. And I finally had to say, like, stop. Like, or I have a stomach ache or I have diarrhea or something's wrong. Cause where were you? Where are you coming from? I'm like, get this chick away. I did. I'm like, get her out of here.
The
You wouldn't
problem
stop. How
The
many
problem
confessionals?
is, here's the thing, Carolyn, when you're someone who's out there doing traders, if you're actually in it to win, and I wanted to win, you're going to use
Girl,
every
same.
tool that you have. You know, you're going to use every tool that you have in your little toolkit to get to the bottom of it if you actually want to win. Now, if you don't care about winning, you're going to Michael Rappaport, spew nonsense, and just make a big exit. You know, you don't care. I wanted to win. Yeah, I was paying attention to who's following who. I'm paying attention to where the cameras are because I really wanted to win that show. I hate myself, by
And
the way, for
bathroom
losing.
breaks. What did you learn from bathroom breaks, Brittany?
I don't really remember paying that much attention to
Not
bathroom
bathroom breaks.
breaks.
I'm talking about people leaving, and then I would try to like lie to you and be like, "I was just in the bathroom," but it was confessionals.
Oh,
What did you learn about?
confessionals, yeah.
What did you learn about? That's what I meant. I kept saying
There would
bathroom breaks.
definitely
That was my
be
lie.
there would be more, some people would get called to confessionals more often than others. Like you do notice that stuff. But also sometimes it's wrong. Like that's one of the reasons I thought it was Jeremy was because remember when the cameras were on him by himself in the kitchen, and I thought that was so weird. I was like, why are there 6 cameras on Jeremy by himself in the kitchen? Like this makes no sense. So that's one of the main reasons I thought Jeremy was a traitor. It was wrong. That was incorrect. I'm not saying it's a perfect science, but I'm saying if you're really there to try to play the game and win, you look for what you got. And if you're someone
That's stressful.
who plays these type of shows, Big Brother, Survivor, whatever, and you've seen enough of the way production thinks to try to analyze it,
Oh,
why wouldn't you
yeah.
do that, you know?
Yeah. Oof. It was just stressing me out, but,
Well, because you were a
um,
traitor, Carolyn. If you were faithful, it wouldn't have stressed you out at all.
yeah.
You would have been like, "Yeah, I saw him go to the bathroom.
Yeah.
That was shady."
I'll,
But you
I'll
were a
just say two
traitor.
things. When I see people going to a lot of confessionals, I'm like, shit, they must be talking a whole bunch of shit. And who are they talking shit about? Because I haven't been up there that much. The other thing
No,
was,
I
I
know.
remember when Tamara got murdered, we were in a specific room. And for some reason, a lot of the times I go to breakfast, I'm one of the last ones. So I'm always like, they're talking about me. They're talking. Like
Yes,
it's
they're
always
talking
like
about
I'm
me.
always on edge. Like they're talking about me. Oh my god, I made it to breakfast. Thank
Yeah.
God.
Woo, woo, woo. Okay, Caroline gets murdered, which
Yeah, they said they're gonna send her ass back to Dubai, and they're not gonna see her at no BravoCon. That was mean.
It was me. Do you want to know my okay, here's my opinion, which
yeah.
I am versed in housewives. I'm versed in Carolyn Stanberry. I'm
Oh,
versed in Renna. I'm versed in all of these housewives. I get it. I think that Renna saw her out of those options as the biggest threat to her screen time and as the biggest threat.
really?
Yes, because Carolyn Stanbury is very funny and you didn't see it on Traitors because she was barely there. She's very funny and she has a very like British sense of humor, like a very dry, like cutting sense of humor. And I think that of those choices, Rena was like, she's the biggest threat to me getting the most attention out of these choices. And that's one of the reasons that she murdered her and was so mean about it. Like she didn't even have to be that mean. You know what I
I
mean? Like
believe you simply because I felt like she had to speak first on it, and we won't be seeing you at BravoCon. Like, why so ugly? And then the girl
so
shaking back, like,
rude.
because she said earlier, I thought we were supposed to stick together. I thought we were going to be looking out for each
Yeah.
other. So I guess it was you were going to look out for them, but if they could screw you, they sure would, which is kind of fucked up when you go in thinking, I'm going to play with these people. These people are going to be on my team. We're going to work together as a unit. And then you realize, oh, okay, when you're down, they're going to fucking kick you too. You know, like, oh,
Yep.
it breaks your heart.
Just let's be real though, the whole when there's just certain comments that are said sometimes that are literally just said for like they're for the edit. Cuz
Bites.
who the hell is actually gonna you're not coming to Brown? Ain't nobody talk like
Listen,
that. Let's
I
just be
remember it, so it
girl,
was good, okay? Because they told
girl.
her she wasn't coming to
Carolyn,
BravoCon, and they were sending her
she's
back to
the
Dubai.
queen of this too. Rena is the queen of saying something that actually, like, if you just read it on paper, it has no substance and it's not important. But the way she delivers it is in her way so that it will make a meme, which is like she said, and I wrote it down that she said on one of the episodes, it was about killing Caroline, actually. This is the cherry on top of the sundae. And it's like the way that she delivers it in the confessional is like, oh, this murder, this is a cherry on top of the sundae, just to make like her little soundbite. It's not that clever. It's not that important. It's not funny. It's not even like a great quote. But the way that she says it is so that all of her fans will be like, oh my God, Lisa Renna ate, blah, blah,
See
blah.
that
Like
girl, that's what I'm
she's doing
saying.
that every time, every
Brittany,
time.
I have one.
I've talked
When
oh,
Monet was at breakfast and said, we're gonna ask them how it happened. We're gonna test these hoes. Like,
see,
there's only certain
see that
people
was
that could get
natural to
away
me.
with saying, we're gonna test
Yeah,
these
right.
hoes.
Test these hoes came off so natural with Monet. That's my 2
Yeah,
cents.
natural,
Test
yeah.
these hoes. It seemed real. It flowed off and like just, but some of this other shit, it's just like shut up.
Shut up, I know.
I'm not even gonna be hating it. It's just like shut up. So
I
that's all.
fully
And
agree. Carolyn, tell me what you think about did they prepare Rena for that line of questioning when she got to breakfast?
okay, and no, and real quick, but like it's like, is that what we're supposed to do? Is Google little sound bites and cute little clever little tricky like
I know.
I remember telling them like a
I
while
have
ago,
a I have
bye
to do a
Sandra.
Survivor 50 thing Zoom at 4:30 with Parade magazine or whatever.
Honestly, she was exactly like that on Housewives. Exactly the same way. I just know that about her, and so I think I see it even more than maybe people who aren't familiar with her and are watching Traitors because I'm used to it from Housewives, and I'm, like, so over it.
Who's like a how okay, Phaedra. Okay, immediately I thought of Phaedra as like a lovable housewife.
Hold on, let me also say, one of the reasons that Phaedra is so loved is because the things that she says, number 1, they're funny, and number 2, they're natural. They're natural to her. They're natural to her
Yeah,
personality, her
100.
like, they're really just stuff that she would say, and it's not just, like, reaching for a line, and that's what differentiates her very much
Well
in the world of housewives. Dorinda is a very beloved housewife. People really,
oh,
really
I was gonna
like
say, yeah,
Dorinda.
people love yes, absolutely, like, I did know
Yes.
that. Yeah, so I was surprised by that. I'm like, "Why is Caroline?" And then again, those comments, it's like, "Girl, you just wanted to," but anyway, so it was just it was too much, too trying too hard, and we
So
get it,
for
so
context for you, Caroline and Chanel Ion from our season are
yeah,
very, very close. They're both Housewives of Dubai, very close friends on that show. They're like
I thought that
actually
show was
real friends.
done.
It is now, but they were on it together.
Well, yes, and I knew that, like, that
Yeah.
they, yes, were on the show together. I was like, I didn't know anything about, like, a ton about Caroline. I thought maybe, like, it just didn't make sense. Why her? And why wouldn't you wanna keep the housewives together? But also, it again, they're doing a good job because 'cause they're throwing people off their scent. It's like, is it a gamer? Now a housewife's
I
murdered?
know.
Ah!
Well,
They're doing good.
we didn't
Yeah.
talk to each other after the premiere, but I didn't think Donna Kelsey's shortlist ever made any sense at all.
Well, yeah, girl.
Did you think it
Duh.
made any sense? Like, I was like,
No.
what are we doing here?" And then her own justification was, "Oh, I wanted to murder people who would never get banished." And I was like, "Okay, I can kind of see that." But to me, it just made absolutely her choices were so off the wall to me. Like, it
Well,
was
one was
wild.
Monet, like, calling people quiet and was like, "Monet is really quiet." I'm like, "What? Nah." So, again, I don't wanna, like I just feel like that's a position that she might have needed, like, a little bit of guidance, but I
Yeah,
feel like if she would have been in the turret, I don't know, she seems so, like, scared to be there as far as, like, "Oh, Lisa Rinna," so it might have been really intimidating for her too,
oh
which
my
I
god,
think she would have been better
Carolyn,
as a faithful.
have you clocked that Monet's voice is identical to Bob the Drag Queen? It's
Holy sh
identical.
oh my god, I
Identical.
does anyone say? Because again, I don't read all this crap, but, like, do other people say that? Because
Well,
I was like, "Oh
I
my
said it on my
gosh."
Patreon and they said so they have a podcast together, those 2,
Yeah.
and they said that that's, like, the reason that they podcast together. They, like because they sound it's called sibling rivalry because they sound so much alike. They sound identical. Like, if I closed my eyes, I would think that that was Bob the Drag Queen.
What I'm saying, I was
Unreal.
shocked, but don't you feel like Monet I just good. I feel like Monet was so lovable, and I felt like
Lovable,
Monet
yes, me
not
too.
like
I loved him. Like, I was super sad that he got
I
murdered.
was.
Sad.
I was too, and I just
Me
feel
too.
like I don't know, maybe there's so many screen hogs, like, just loving it, which again, we all
Yes.
love attention, but, like, there's so many
He
attention,
was one of the,
seekers on there.
like, good perspectives
Good
that
ones!
wasn't just there for a line and was contributing and valuable and also fun to
Yes.
watch. Like, yes, I was so sad that he got
It was
murdered. I was
good.
honestly more sad than I expected to be because
Me too.
I didn't know the spoiler, so I didn't know who was gonna get
Me
murdered, and
either.
I was super bummed that it was him.
I was too, and so, I don't know, like, that seeing that, I was just, like, pissed off, and
Yeah,
so but I
me
really
too.
did like Monet, I did not expect
Me
it, I was
too.
pissed because, again, you and we know this, from being out there, that there's so many people just like, "Ugh," and it's like, sometimes just shut up, who are you really? Like,
It's
who the
so
hell are
hard.
you?
It's so
It's
hard to
like
be a real person in this cast, I'm telling you, because so many of these people are so unreal, and I mean that in the worst way. Like, they're putting on a character for their screen time, and it's insufferable. Like, I would be miserable if I were there.
what did you think of me? And did I've already told you what I thought of you back then? Do you wanna did you ever tell me what you thought of me back then? I
I don't know.
tried so hard to be your friend too. I did.
Carolyn, we
Yeah,
were
but I get it.
friends. Like, I
I
was
know.
friends with you, but you were a traitor. I feel like you keep forgetting that you were a traitor.
Oh, yeah, I do, but I really wanted to be your best friend out there, and I was, like I did, I was like I felt, like, kinda rejected, and that's just maybe goes back to, like, high school, I don't know, or middle school, I don't know
No,
how you
I felt
but I
friendless
was like,
and had no one to trust, and I feel like you at least had your traitor group, which you guys hated each other, but
Girl,
I literally had
no, back
nobody.
that up. Back that up. You at least
You at least had your traitor group. I didn't have anyone. I had nobody. I had
girl,
no alliances. There was no one who was gonna I mean, really, the truth is Danny was semi protecting me, even though I believe that it was out of self preservation. Like she didn't want it to come back on her. Still, that did lend itself to protecting me. That was it for me. And that wasn't like a straightforward relationship. It was very complicated. I had nobody. I had no pre
I
existing relationships with any of these people. I had no
I
small
tried.
club. You at least had a small
I
club. You had Boston Rob.
girl, okay, I'm not even going to do like, but yeah, what did I yell at you at the round table once? "You're Britney!" Or what did I yell?
I don't
"You're
remember.
Britney!" I was
I
like,
don't.
"Stop it." Remember? I was like, "Stop it, Britney," and I got mad. What did I say? I was
Yeah,
like,
but I don't even remember what it was about
it
at
was
this
so
point,
because you were like,
though.
yeah, yeah, you didn't cut you, like, were immediately trying to defend her, and I was like, "You oh, it pissed me off. Anyway, I wanted to be a friend, I know, like, and it's a game and whatever, but I really
Oh,
thought that, like,
was
I
it with
really
Danny?
yeah, and so I get, like, where you're coming from, and again, it was the same thing with Dylan, like, I just felt like, okay, even if you guys suspect that both of us are traitors or whatever, um, pick me over her, and it's all good. You
Well,
know what I'm saying?
I never
It's all
thought that
good.
you weren't real though. Like you were never one of the people that I would put in the same pool as we're talking about these people as far as like their personality is put on. They're trying to do a line, whatever.
Oh,
You were definitely
girl,
never considered for that whatsoever. Like I feel like you're very
no,
yourself and you very much live in your truth and you do have a big personality, but it's authentic and that's like a huge difference. I feel like in this castle even
ugh.
worse than on our season, which we did have like Bob the drag queen was very loud and sucked a lot of energy out of a room. But these people have it even worse if they're normal because it's just like I don't even know how you could sit there. Like it's just the
Well,
talking heads is crazy.
but here's what I wanna say, and from watching the first 2 episodes, the first 2, I was like, "Wow, these people are really joyful. These people are really, like, great friends. Jam Jam's so popular. He's, like, fitting right in." I truly felt like it was a very just refreshing, fun yes, I did. I felt like these people are very much getting along, other than Rappaport, but whatever.
Yeah,
I felt like they
yeah.
were getting along. The energy from
Has
the first 2
shifted.
episodes or first 3 episodes to now, and I don't know if it's because 'cause I'm in Minnesota I live in Minnesota, and it's just depressing here right now anyway, and so that might have impacted my mood, but watching this, I was like first of all and we haven't gotten into Tiffany god, there's too much to talk about. It's just, like, made me sad. Jam
Yeah.
Jam looks depressed. He went from
Mhm.
being just this so full of life and happy and again, when I watch this show, I wanna see people happy, I do. I wanna see all no, 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 I hate that because feel your feelings and speak your truth and whatever, and sometimes you have to cry in this game, and that's okay. But it's just when people are, like, being mean to each other or people
Yeah.
are that's just, like, not fun to watch in my opinion, and that's what I didn't like about our season was, like, the seriousness of it because I just felt
Yeah.
like, can we just have fun?" So I felt like the first few episodes, people were having fun. The energy now is just Jam's depressed. Ron literally isn't even a comedian anymore. It
Yeah.
sucks.
I
Tiffany, that exit
I missed like I would rather see my traders arguing over like the strategic moves that they're trying to make as traders than see my faithfuls arguing about people who aren't even traders. And like that's what we're watching and I think it's really frustrating because it's more of a bid for screen time than it was with us and also it's less trader focused because it's all about those annoying faithfuls. Colton, Michael, like all the
so
yellers are getting the screen time and so the turret is just like this happy-go-lucky, but they're making
Oh!
I like it better when the traders are hate each other than I do when the traitors are getting along and the faithfuls are fighting. I don't know. I prefer the
Yeah, I don't
traitors to
need
fight.
yeah, like, I know, I don't need my traders to be like I don't. I like a little bit of, like, a little bit of arguing. I don't
Yeah.
need them, but yes, game-wise, of course, it's smart to stick with your traders and do all that crap. Duh, we get it. But you're right, and so what you're saying is, Brittany, to get the most screen time on this show, start a fight.
Yeah. What do you think? I mean, it's honestly, it's so exhausting to watch. Like, it's I don't know. I'm being such a downer right now, but it feels very performative. And so to me, the people who are there
It
that
does.
yeah, that are more normal, like Tiffany, for example, it's like, what are you gonna do? You're up against this is what you're up against, and this is a lot to be up against. And I don't know.
That's the
I
thing. You can't be normal on this damn
I
show.
know.
You can't. And so honestly, thankfully, I'm blessed with the ability to just naturally be kind of awkward because honestly, I wouldn't have like my brain doesn't catch up like that to be able to have like cute one-liners really fast and
Right.
stuff. Um, but I feel like it's so you know how it is out there. Everyone's competing for their screen time. But yeah,
Yep.
people like the drama, I guess. But that's the difference too. There's the drama, and then there's, like, outright just ew, and to me, there's some stuff where it's like, ew, and even,
Yeah.
like I said, rooting for Colton, if you don't even like, Tom Sandoval, it's funny, like, you know what I'm saying? You're like, God, you almost feel bad for him, you know he's not a traitor,
Yeah.
he's just wrong reads all the
Wrong
time.
reads all the time. Yeah.
It's funny, but, like, having this loud man constantly
I
yelling but I
know.
will give him credit, good. I'll give Michael credit when he literally did say when he tried to calm down a little bit the 3rd episode or 4th episode, he was a little quieter, but
Yeah, but
these
he
people are
probably just had like a momentary low blood sugar. Like, I think you're giving this man too much credit. Like, oh, wow, we're so proud of you. You shut up for 5 minutes. Like,
No, yeah, you're right, but, you know, when, like, your standards are so low because your expectations from the first
hmm
experience with them is, like so you're like, "Progress? That's what?" But
it's so
again, you're
annoying.
right. It's you can tell that's like, girl, it's like you can just obviously, you don't want people to just be like, "Meh," but also, you don't want people who you can feel the authenticity of somebody who is just
Right.
a natural, whatever Monet said about the hose, versus somebody who it's
Putting it
so
on.
put on. And
Yeah.
again, even Colton feels put on because again, you'd see Dylan blush, you would see those awkward moments, you would see where he would like be and it was
Yeah.
real and you felt it. But
Yeah.
when you go out there trying to be it and it
It's
just comes
different.
off, you can feel it.
My kids
I'll
just
edit
got
this.
back from Goofy was babysitting my kids and now he's returned.
So the last we had a little bit of a what happened, Sandra? You had to leave. So you
I
had to
had to
leave.
leave. I had to do an interview for 50 that was asked of me.
Who did it or can you not say?
Parade, Mark Bloom.
What?
Wait. Let's just go in order real fast. Did we didn't
Oh,
talk about we didn't talk about the story that Lisa gave when the henchman came with the mask and the
girl.
axe to chop them off a tree. I thought she was gonna screw that whole damn thing up.
Girl. So yeah, we're bouncing all over the place and but whatever, like we're humans. So basically, I got vibes to when that happened to me, okay? When I come into breakfast and they're like, "Well, what was Alan wearing?" And uh 'cause that was when they're questioning Lisa, 'cause that Lisa is up for murder, but hey, she's also a traitor, so she's actually not going to be there or you know what I'm saying? She's not gonna be there, like, at the tree, tied to the tree because she's not up for murder like that. But really, and I said this during my season, is like, because I was so scared about this, I was like of this happening, this very thing happening. I'm like, can you tell me what's gonna happen or what they're because I'm supposed to be there. Never in a million years did I anticipate the like interrogation, but it's scary. And so like getting prepped for that before, it's like,
Now
oh,
you know moving forward, if you're put in a situation where you need to know the story, you better know the damn story.
and especially but what sucks as a traitor is she's up for murder and also a traitor, but she wasn't there, and so that's what sucks. It's like, you know what I'm saying? You're given some information, but who can remember that? Because again, she wasn't actually tied up, she was murdering. So that was I thought she did like, I don't think of course she did kinda terrible, but then but at the same time, I don't no one's talking about it, so
Yeah, there was inconsistencies in her story, because she panicked. But Monet had said, "What happened with the person with the gold mask?" And then she said, "No, the mask was black." If she would have agreed about a gold mask, I think she would have been in trouble. She would have been busted because Monet said, "We're gonna test these hoes," and so
that started during our season because that and it was so scary, and so Monet picked that up and because it's a good way to see if one of the traitors were up for murder and they wouldn't know, which is so crazy too, like, next season, if you're a traitor and you're up for be like, "No, I wanna see the scene because it's
yeah.
scary."
Like,
I like
I wanna go through the whole thing, I wanna pay attention, you wanna see everything that's happening even from a distance, because my god, that shit could set you up for failure.
like, you think I knew what Alan was wearing? I didn't see Alan, you know? So, again, like, you're given information, but, like, 2 seconds before you go into breakfast, it was scary, it's scary, so watching her, I'm like, "Girl."
Yeah, yeah, we learned something new after, thanks to Monet, we're
Yeah,
ready.
oh,
Um, and then at breakfast, Mara and Monet asked Michael, you see how they're picking on Michael, that, who was with you when you were walking around in the woods? Like, if Michael was one of the traitors that was out there walking around in the woods. So, they've been messing with him.
as they should, though, a little bit, no offense. I feel he puts the I don't think anyone deserves to be treated badly. I think that he literally is just annoying and, like, you know what I'm saying? They're annoyed of him a little, you know? So,
Oh, Caroline said, "Rena, you bitch, why me?" And she said, "'Cause you talk too much."
Brittany thinks it's because she's taking her screen time. What do you but she knows about the
Well, I
Bravo.
don't know how the housewives are, so I wouldn't even know nothing about anybody there unless they're on Big Brother or Survivor or The Challenge. Like all the other
And
ones.
Dorinda. Dorinda, I feel like is a well-known housewife girl.
Well, I only the first time I ever heard the name Dorinda was when the cast was revealed last season. Before then, I never heard that name. But
Yeah,
I don't
because
like
you're
that.
yeah, no, I don't either, but you know what I'm saying? It's kinda like there's just people who like, I don't watch Big Brother, but I knew who Brittany Haynes was, stuff like that. Or,
Yeah.
like, even if I never watched Survivor, I know who you were. There's people that stand out from, like, the franchise. So, yeah, that was a lot. Caroline, it makes sense, though, it throws them off their scent. But, yeah, I was like, housewives stick together, I do like that, but they weren't, and it's smart, I guess, because now it's
Yeah.
like, who could it be?
Now, I did love Lisa's jacket at breakfast, and I did love the floral pin worn by Christian because I wrote that. But when Jam Jam said ceremony, everybody was like, "Oh," that's when Tiffany was like ceremony? Like you talking like a damn traitor. Cause who
Yeah.
uses ceremony? But I
Yeah,
don't
no, it's
know.
true. It's true. That's weird. And even think of past seasons. Isn't it usually the freaking traders who are like, being like, you know what I'm saying? Especially at breakfast, like
I
being
know, but
like,
if I call something a ceremony because I thought that's what it was, now I'm screwed. So it's like a ceremony, one of those words that you just never say on traders.
well, yeah, because ceremony of what? Like the funeral? Are we at the
Like,
funeral
how
right
would you
now?
know it's a ceremony? Like, okay, I get it now, but you know, Tiffany said you can lead a horse to water, but you can't get them to drink. That's the damn truth.
Mm.
All
So
right.
Tiffany, so what do you think of that? So good. Are we just gonna go right straight to the so Colton's being all heroic and whatnot and wanting like that. And it's a lot of and again, it makes sense for, like, Rob because Rob's like, "Yeah, it's not me, and it's not the traders, blah, blah, blah." So, Rob, and what did he say? I don't wanna he wants to play hard. He wants to be the faithful, whatever,
Oh,
captain.
Colton said he wanted to take a big swing. He was talking to Rob, Monet, and Mark. He was saying that Tiffany was half-assing stuff. She was insincere. She was fake ass. She did a fake ass eulogy. Everything she does is based off of
Wait,
control.
Who
And
did
he
the
just wants to cut the head off the snake. So see, he's being mean. So it's
who
okay
did
when
the
Michael Rappaport is mean right back.
who did the eulogy? I thought the eulogy was the housewife. That was Tiffany?
He said she said a fake ass eulogy when Ian left. Didn't she say like Ian left and he was so great and he, when Ian
Fake
left.
ass? That was real, you mother. So, I didn't take that as fake ass. Do you know Big Brother? Anyways,
But these were his words. That's why I wrote it down the way he said it verbatim to show you that he can say whatever he wants, but the minute somebody says something back, now it's a whole issue with Michael.
it's
Michael
true.
was
No,
being
you're
abused because he walked into breakfast and the first thing they said is who was walking around with, you know what I'm saying? Like and you're like, fuck, I just want to sit down for coffee, some salmon and a boiled egg, and now this shit.
no, I get it, but I think it would have taken at least a couple more days. Could I? Okay,
Then
sorry.
Colton says he knows
I
what he's doing and he's not going out like no bitch.
Yeah, and again,
And that's
I'm
beef.
not, ugh, and
Now he's out of the chat. Now you can't.
I'm shocked that that many people, like, were on board with it, but again, if you ain't hearing nothing else, if you're not but whatever, the Traitors are literally no one's suspecting them, and they're well, except for Monet, but we're not on an episode yet, are we? No. Okay, so we go it's all going on and I think that if Jam and Tiffany would have been able to work together, which sucks, I oh, oh, I do,
But Jam Jam didn't do that. That was Tiffany. Tiffany said she thought that Ron, Jam Jam, and Michael in that order were traitors, and that was the order that they set forth to go after them. So then we go to
so
the
so if Jam was a traitor, why not have that be your angel instead of Rappaport?
yeah.
Right? Girl. So it just okay, goes to the round table. Are we at the round table?
No, no, no,
We're
not
at
yet. They go to the mission,
oh,
and
yeah. Oh,
then they go to that mission with the spears where they put that beast ablaze.
so that was great. That's a mission where it was a little long, but that's a mission where we're getting something meat out of it. We're seeing who's with who. We're seeing and basically the whole concept of the mission is either so if even one person grabs the shield, then it's gonna be up for murder. But if everybody collectively can
You're on
be
the
on
wrong mission, girl. We're
oh
on the mission where they have to run to those corn dolls and get the spears. And the first one they spear
oh
is Ron, and the second one is Tiffany.
no, girl, that's the right one. Are
No,
we
this
talking?
is episode 4 where they stab. You're talking
Oh yeah.
about the statues with the.
I'm not editing that out
Okay,
either. Like,
so they spear in this order: Ron, Tiffany, then Monet, then Michael Rappaport. So he goes after Tara, who did it to him, and he's screaming her name the whole time, like, cause he's like that. He don't do shit behind your
yeah,
back. He does it to your face. I love that.
yeah, true.
Um, he goes after Tara. Then it was Steven, Lisa, Maura, Johnny, and the 10th person was Jam Jam. And then Jam Jam starts crying because he's gonna be murdered. Listen, when you go out there and 10 people have to get speared and stabbed, you better hope you're not one of them. But if you are, you're just in a group of people. You can't just assume that because you've been speared number 10, now you're dead.
What you saying about his tears, girl?
They were
It's okay.
sincere. He was scared, but I don't see why he's scared. Nothing has happened yet. Like they hadn't
Girl,
gone to the round table yet. So he didn't know
because the
Tiffany was
gamers are all
saying his
going.
name.
Because the gamers are all going. I think that's why, girl.
Oh,
Because Ian,
could be.
Rob, like,
I'm dying to know why he thought the minute he got a spear and he was the 10th spear, then he started crying. Jam, what you
I,
was crying for?
I mean, it was real though. And again, too, it's like,
He said,
I never,
I'm gonna be
I,
killed.
and I felt so bad too. And I'm not laughing at him. I'm not. But I felt so freaking bad because,
Look, we
again,
love him. We support him. No, we
I,
can laugh because he wasn't killed. We can laugh
but
because he wasn't banished. He wasn't murdered. Or at least
it's
we hope
emotional.
he's not. But um,
It's it's emotional out there,
anyway,
and, like, too bad. It is, girl. It can be emotional, and it's again, you're, like, not sleeping, and it's so you do so much to, like, prepare not pre but you know, see, it's a lot. Your Traitors is huge, and you're excited, and then you leave. I never thought I'd see Tony crying like that or Jeremy. I didn't. I thought they'd be like, "Yeah, like, bye." Breaks my
I
heart.
cried on episode 11 when I had to stand at that damn circle of truth
Yes,
and I knew I wasn't getting a piece of that prize pot because them fuckers cut me out
that was messed
and
up.
I did everything. Listen, so then
That was
we go
so
to the
close
round
too.
table.
That was so close. They knew you were
I
faithful,
was on,
right?
that was the last episode, episode 11. I made it to the end. They knew I was faithful. They wanted to cut me out.
Same with
Um,
MJ. Don't you feel like they knew she
Well,
was
MJ
too?
was with Kate. Those two weren't gonna separate, and CT was Trishelle was with Trishelle, and I was the odd man out. I was with CT and Trishelle, but Kate got to me and told me CT was throwing out my name the whole way to and from the challenge, that he was gonna get rid of me at that round table. And then I was like, oh my God. So then I tried to get rid of him, and I'm like, well, vote with me, we'll get rid of him. And then she went and snitched on me. So I was just like, oh my God, he's
Oh, yeah,
coming
that's
after me.
oh,
She played me.
why
She did a good
too?
job. All right, look, so I gotta go in
So
10 minutes. Um, we're at the round table, and I'm dying because Tiffany says, you could spell my name Tiffany like the company.
yep. No, she did amazing. She did so well. I was so proud of her. Yeah, everything. It was perfect. I thought Colton was a little like, oh, I didn't like, I felt like he was a little too much. Like,
Colton was a lot, but that wasn't the nail in the coffin. The minute Eric started talking and saying that he heard a laugh and he knew where it came from, his words carried a lot of weight and no one questioned anything this dude has power. If I was a traitor, I'd murder him. I almost said the F word. I'd murder that. But listen,
I did not see that coming, did you? For that to pick up heat that fast, even like, oh my gosh, it wasn't enough, especially based on a theory from Colton that was so far. It was just like, didn't even make sense. I'm sorry. And so for people to, but again, it just shows you're desperate, and it is anyone but me. You're desperate out there. But that, and if Tiffany had more allies, I feel like she would have been able to be saved, but they're all dead and whatever. It just sucked.
it would have been easier for Eric to just say, I heard a laugh and it was definitely a woman's laugh. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Exactly. What do you like up? You don't know. So that pissed me off, but that was heartbreaking because one of the things I want to point out, as me and you have talked about before, she talks about being a single mom. Seeing her be out there talk about, like, I want to pay for my son's college. It's like, of course it's, and the tears are coming down and you see the other people. But the thing is, there's so many other people out there that have so much money and they're all rich. And it's like us gamers, for the most part, it's like we need the money. This isn't just like nothing to us. And so that's what sucks too, is it's like I love that she verbalized that, because I think that sometimes, like, you go on these shows and it's like you wanna fit in with, like, all the people who are, but it's like, we don't, and that's okay, and I love that she said that, "I am a single mom, I need this money, I need this money," and it's like, oh, Colton,
yeah, I felt really,
I
really
almost was
bad
like,
for her.
I literally wanted to set up a GoFundMe, like, for her
Yeah, she
son's
said, I need this. Um,
It broke my heart, it really did. Even though she was going after Jam Jam, it really freaking broke my heart.
yeah.
And I was super sad after that episode, and I felt like, wow, I'm watching this show and it's usually fun, and I feel really sad only to get into the next episode, which is even sadder. And so,
Girl, so okay, so what ends up happening is Ron ends up saying, he starts arguing with Dorinda. He's like, either exonerate me or send me home, and that he goes where he's wanted, which is true, girl. They're too cold to him. He doesn't fit in with
girl.
anybody. We talked about that earlier.
Yep, yep.
I
Don't
feel
say he
bad for
doesn't
him.
help
But
it
then
out.
again, listen, if I was in that castle, I'd be I'd be like, yo, he's got the plague. Like I'd leave, I wouldn't mess with him because if he's already out the door, I wouldn't like try to establish a relationship now. Nina, come get Chase.
I
Um,
think he could have done well, like, just I think maybe he could have, like, but I don't know, when you're in that position and everyone's literally doesn't even want to talk around
Shut
you,
my
mentally, that kinda messes you up. It's taken all of his joy away,
Yeah,
so
it's not it should be fun. He's, like, digging in the sofa, Nina, like on my fishing. It's not even fun. You wanna have people can you imagine being there for 16 hours and just staring at the walls and at the
yeah,
portraits and the books and like, "Goddamn, somebody talk to me," and nobody wants to be around him. It's sad. And it's not anything he did wrong. He saw evidence, he heard evidence, he put forth evidence, brought it to the
yep.
table. They believed him the second time around because they didn't initially jump on it. But when they finally did, she was a faithful, so it came out wrong. But still, I don't blame him, but that's after the fact. Like I know it because I'm watching the TV. I'm not in the castle with him. So they don't have no way of knowing. So in a way, they kind of get a pass.
Girl, and yeah, he doesn't wanna know about your dang family because
I don't
why would
blame
he
him.
at
I
this
don't want
point?
to know
He's
about
given up.
everybody. Girl, I could barely
He's
remember who
given up.
voted for who got a damn shield, and I got to remember your wife and your kids' names.
He wouldn't have been this cold, though. I don't think he would have been that cold to Dorinda had again, had he not just been shunned for the last whatever days, I don't think he would have just been that outwardly cold. I think he's sick of it. I think he's fed up.
Listen, if you want to talk about episode 2, it'll probably have to be later. So,
Okay.
and then the next thing we see is Tiffany goes home. It's 6:55. Tiffany goes home. Michael tells Kristen that he believes it's one of the three hunks. That's a traitor. And then we see the traitors go to the turret and they're saying that that they're not going to get rid of any gamers or housewives. It's going to destroy the pattern. So whoever they go after is going to be somebody different. So I don't know who they're coming after. The two the two that are in the Dorinda and the two traders, and then that leaves Natalie and Jam Jam. So whoever they go after is going to be someone else. I wouldn't touch
Who's
nobody that could be banished like Ron. I wouldn't even touch him. I wouldn't even murder him. I'd murder someone
no.
like Eric or Christian that are obvious faithfuls and no one will ever target.
What are you on spring break?
No, so I got up this morning, like yesterday I did a good job cleaning my house, but my house wasn't dirty anyway.
Yeah.
Um, and then Nina asked me if I wanted to go to the gym, and my
Yeah.
husband lights up when he knows I'm going to the gym. There's something about me and the gym that just my husband is like, eh. And girl, so I went to the gym and rode the bike, and I was watching the UK Traitors episode 7.
That's the thing when you are able to, like, watch something and do a bike or do an elliptical or do some it makes it so much better. Wow, you might have
That's how I prepared for Australian Survivor. I would sit there rewatching all the seasons. Like I had started watching it the minute Russell was on, but he was only on like one episode. But I continued watching it. But the minute they called me, I went back and started watching it just to see because it was a returning season of players. So I wanted to know who was coming back. I wanted to,
yeah.
for it to be fresh in my mind. And I'd sit there on the elliptical and I'd be on the
Wow.
bicycle just watching. And I'd watch the whole episode, and before you knew it, a whole hour had gone by, and
Yep.
you feel good. So I was like, I'm never really prepared to go. I say I'm gonna, and then I don't. But with Australian Survivor, I just wanted to be able to have a little bit more energy. That was it.
Wow, that's really impressive. I've been thinking the last 2 days, I'm like, just because, I was just reading because obviously, everybody says that physical fitness helps with mental health, and it helps and just things are just so shitty right now, especially here. Well, I don't even wanna say especially here, it's everywhere, but obviously, I mean, being in Minnesota, it's like, hello, but it's everywhere, but, right now, yeah, it's yeah. So I was like, maybe I should do like a kickboxing class or do like something just to, but I just don't get that enjoyment from working out or even like people will say, do it for more than, what does it take? Like 2 weeks for it to become a habit. I never can get past that point.
Yeah. Well, when you have something you like to watch, then it becomes easier because it's like me doing a little bit of homework. I
Yep.
mean, I want to stay on top of traders and I, I don't have a way to watch UK Traitors, and I don't wanna watch it after the fact because I see a lot of stuff on social
I
media about
know.
it, so I wanna be, like, on top of it. So it's my way of like, "Oh, the next episode, okay, let me go to the gym," because if I do it here at my house, I'm just gonna be sitting here. I don't have no exercise equipment, but the gym is only around the corner, like, for real, around the corner. So I just go around the corner, put in my headphones, grab my Haleakala water bottle,
Wow.
and I'm ready to go.
I should do it. Which gym do you go to?
Fit for life.
Okay, so it's like a, it's not like a Planet Fitness or Lifetime or like
There's like 4 of them all over the place, but my husband had bought me a membership for like $20. You can't beat that with a
it
stick.
yeah, and that's like the one by my house, it's like so there's like Anytime Fitness are everywhere here. But it's, like, good. I kinda want, like, a little bit of a spa too, but I feel like but I'm not going to Lifetime, I'm just not, but that's where it's, like, they got the sauna and all that stuff, so I kinda want that, but I also don't wanna be with, like, the gym bros, so it's hard. Anytime actually was pretty decent, but it's kind of I need a sauna, so, I don't
Yeah.
know.
Our gym has a sauna, and I'll go in there for
Oh,
30 minutes. 15 minutes, then come out, take a sip, go back in. And I could keep my headphones in, and then I just put I could see the screen from inside the box. Um,
oh gosh,
but
that's
now that
fun.
they're dwindling down in people, I kinda hear the names and the voices, so even if I can't see for a minute or whatever, I'm still like, I know what's going on, but
Yeah. So here we are on day 2. We've had, just a lot going on, and then
a
I
lot
was
of interruptions yesterday.
a lot of interruptions, and, we're not perfect, and so it's like, what are we supposed to re-record the whole thing? No. Anyways, so we are on day 2, but I was thinking too, I was, literally like, "Should I wear the same outfit?" But then I'm like, "No, that's weird."
No, it's fine. I mean, they have to understand we have lives and things get complicated sometimes, and we're trying to squeeze in one thing and the other, and we couldn't do both episodes in one, so it's okay. You
It's
do
hard
yesterday and
it's hard sometimes though too when you're recapping these when they release them, multiples at once. I mean, I know this was only 2, but I'm like, "Crap, were we talking a bunch about the 2nd episode with the 1st or with the 4" how many episodes are out now? 5?
yeah, now there's 5.
So were we talking episode 5 during episode 4 whatever.
Yeah, we
Um,
kinda bounced around. Well, it was because Brittany was also asking questions and she was further
yeah.
ahead, I guess. Although I had watched both of them, but when I rewatched them to do this with you, I try to go back and, I write little key points and little things that people say. And it's like you always catch more the second time around than versus the first time you're watching it.
Oh,
So with
totally,
that being said,
totally.
everyone walks into breakfast, but nobody's happy that Ron is there. So it all starts with Ron. Dorinda has on this beautiful suit with all these
Y
pins.
that looked great. I loved to me, that's, like, proper housewife where it's like she's the madame, she's the no, madame seems like she's a granny. It's just very you can just tell it's super nice, it fit her well, I liked it.
Yeah, absolutely. And then they show Monet getting murdered, and she says ectoplasm on all these hoes, like,
Yeah.
because now
Yes.
she's a ghost. And then they cut to Candace saying, they're like, "How are you doing today?" And she was like, to quote Dorinda, "Not well, bitch." So I guess it really hurt Candace to have to pick Monet, but Monet said Lisa Rena's name in front of Rob.
But it wasn't widespread yet, so it makes sense. Like, they're smart, aren't
Well,
they?
they were banking on it not being widespread because listen, like I said, we're in that castle for 16 hours a minimum. There you're not in every conversation, but you just gotta hope, and sometimes when someone's coming after you and you don't know what they're going around saying, you have to beat them to the punch. So it's one of those things where I feel like you're damned if you do and you're damned if you don't, and you gotta know when to pull the trigger, and I feel like they did it at the correct time.
And I remember too, because there were like with Jer 'cause, Danielle wanted Jeremy out immediately. "He said my name," and it's like, you also do but I mean, I did want Jeremy there still because it's like, I need somebody who's, like, with me, and I did trust Jeremy. Um it's weird, like, Tony, I'm like, "Get away from me," but Jeremy's just you know what I mean with Jeremy. He's just, like, easy to
Yeah.
talk not saying Tony's not easy to talk to, he is, but Jeremy's not looked at the way Tony is, and it's you know what I mean, and Jeremy is he's just so lovable. Anyway, I really like Jeremy. So, it's one of those things, so you don't wanna be the person, like, "We gotta get that person out who said my name," that's obvious, but also, you don't want it to, like, spread to you don't know how far it spread. Uh, but I remember too with Jeremy, it's like, he did say that to more than just me. It was other like, a lot of other people knew. So it's like, that's not you know, yeah, that gets scary too. How do you manage that? And I think that Lisa was thinking that not many people knew yet, right? That's how I
Yeah,
took
she
it.
was at least banking on him not saying it out loud to too many people
Too many
just yet
people.
to where she could get ahead of it, and I think
Yep.
it was the right call. Yeah, the fans are not happy of about who's getting murdered and who's going home and who we don't have on the TV screen anymore, but as a trader playing the game, um, and I feel like when you talk about Jeremy and Tony, you were in prime position because you were a trader that you knew they weren't, and, um, I think if you would have had more people on your side, hopefully you would have lasted longer, because you did last a good long while, so I applaud you for that, but it's all hindsight, like, we don't
No,
know what
totally.
would have worked.
Totally, but I feel like too, it's like you need it was hard, the Jeremy one. It
Yeah.
just really was, and I needed him still there. I wanted him still there. Oh, it sucked, and I
I'm
remember
just relating it to you and Danielle at that point. She still had, hopefully,
yep.
Brittany, who she felt she could rely on 1,000%, but I don't know who did you have at that point?
Well, that's the thing. Tom Sandoval, Sandra?
Uh,
Like,
so yeah,
girl!
your people, anyone you
No,
could
but
have
no,
relied on was gone.
my people though and again, obviously in these edits, they don't show everything as far as, like, relationships because like, me like, I talk to Tom all the time. But the thing with Tom too is, like, you could never be on the same page with him as far as a vote. I had Gabby, um, obviously, but it was, like, that so for my roundtable, it literally who voted with me? It was just Gabby? No, it was Gabby. Who else voted? I see,
I
this is I
can't
really
remember.
I don't even remember. But
Yeah.
at that time, um, that Lord Ivor, he was with me. He was some and again, they don't show it, but day 1, me, Dylan, Danielle, and Lord Ivor were like, "We're gonna be together," and I talked with Lord Ivor a lot.
Were you
I
guys in the
always
same car?
at day 1, but he
See,
was
those first car dates never pan out.
no, I know that, and I knew that the second we were making it, but Dylan was somebody that I always would talk with. Same with Danielle, until it got weird. So it's like Dylan, I felt like would always have my back. I was shocked. I was truly shocked that he didn't pick me over her. Again, they show more of those 2 relationship, but that was someone like I was voting with, I thought, or not even always voting with, but we would strategize and talk together. And same with Lord Ivor, like, he was somebody that I he was suspicious of Danielle. I never in a million never would have thought he would have voted for me. Never in
Well,
a billion
moving
years.
forward, we now know because it didn't pan out for me and it didn't pan out for you. Day one, car alliances
Oh,
heading to the castle.
girl. A and I knew that even then, but I still was with Lord Ivor where I felt like he has my back. He was like, "Yeah, she's" but at the same time, he's the type of person who's like, I could go home at any time and I'm good." Tom Sandoval was just so clueless, and when he's on his case of something, that just became so freaking frustrating, but again, he's a good distraction. Brittany, again, I really did think Brittany would like see through Danielle's, but again, you want that to be your traitor angel, so you get what I'm saying. Brittany was someone I was close to. Um, it sucked, and same with Dolores. Dolores was somebody, but all the people that I was like talking to, Danielle was with too, and I felt like, and I said this to Dolores, I'm like, you're never gonna flip on her, are you? Because you are so after her. She saved her with the how should I save the housewife? It was like after that, and this swearing on kids and
Mhm.
stuff. After that, it was like well, not she would never have voted for her, so we get those, wonky votes and all that BS. So then you're at the end of the game with people towards the end of the game with people who literally A, aren't playing the game or, yeah, keeping traitors alive. So it
Yeah.
sucked. Anyway, so, um
So then Alan pulls up to breakfast with his nice shirt that for some reason
yeah,
caught my attention.
yeah.
Murder. Girl, why do I have to have that shirt?
Do you have wait, what?
The shirt he wrote. Alan wore the shirt that said murder.
I
I
loved
loved
that.
it.
I
It
did
had
too.
3 R's in it. I was like, I gotta get my hands on a murder shirt.
I love that too. I literally was like, "That's such a cute," and then, like, I love the
I'm
outfits.
gonna write myself a sticky note to see if it exists. A murder shirt.
I follow, the person that styles him. It's
Hmm.
either yeah, I follow that person, and
Oh,
I love the looks. It's so fun.
you gotta tell me who that is. I might follow them. Okay, so then, okay, so Alan tells them there's gonna be a challenge, but they're doing a lot of talking after breakfast, and that's where Tara talks about she can't figure out who the traitor is. No one is suspicious. They are also talking about like Natalie, Tara. They don't know why they followed Colton, and Michael
Yeah.
says he's a rabble rouser. And this is before and this is before he goes into where the breakfast area is and a whole fight starts because Colton asks Michael, does Alan stay in his outfit when he comes to the turret? And then that's when Natalie leaves to go tell everyone at the library that he was stumped when Michael went to answer that question. But Michael's like, dude, you got egg on your face. Um, um, you're a failed ringleader. Like a huge fight happens. Jam Jam
Yep.
comes out and he's like, I hear him screaming. So a big fight happened.
And that's why too, like, I think at this point, people don't you get that vibe that people are just so sick of listening to Michael in the fighting?
They're sick of listening to Michael, but Colton doesn't add. He adds fuel to the fire, and he's the one instigating everything. He actually said, because I rewatched the episode before you called me. Colton
Girl.
said, he said, I'm gonna tell you what he said. Shit, what did he say? He said something I wrote down. I know I wrote it down. He's
Yeah,
going to
I'm not
continue to press people and see how uncomfortable they get. And if I miss my shot, I'll shoot again. So why is it that he can dish it out,
yeah,
but he
yeah.
can't fucking take it?
That not only that, but again, he's like this failed ringleader, which again is duh. We don't know what I'm talking like a faithful. And like they don't know who the heck like you're all just throwing what is it, shit at the wall, hoping something
Yeah.
sticks. Like people you don't know. Are you kidding me? So it's like again, the way that Ron got so much like no. And this guy can just so boldly give his opinion nonstop, which is great. I think is like, go ahead and do it. You want people who are investigating and for me personally though, it's just the way that he does it doesn't come off as like this likable, rootable hero. That's all. But yeah, it's like that's what you're supposed to do. What else are you supposed to do there? You want people there who are so maybe it's just because it's Colton doing it and he's not coming off as like
I just
humble
feel
enough.
because we already know Michael ends up going home. I'm just showing proof that Colton is not like the best faithful for the faithfuls. You know what I'm saying? Like
No.
you get tired of their shit, but the traders can easily see that as okay, we don't have to worry about Ron, they'll banish him. We don't have to worry about Michael, they'll banish him, which they have. We
Yep.
don't have to worry about Colton, they'll banish him. And if I'm a faithful, I have to be careful that I'm not such a faithful without blood on my hands that then they'll say, well, she's not contributing to anything. She'll go to the end. We
Yeah.
gotta murder her. So you gotta be like in between the lines. Like you don't want to get banished because you're so out there and causing so much drama within the castle, but you also
But
don't
then
want to
you
be the faithful that the murders say, oh, she's a what was the name of the one that won? The housewife.
Dolores.
You don't want her to be like a Dolores, an Ivar, someone that's such a faithful
They got
that
to
they get
because
to the end.
I remember when we did but also you want people at the end that are trust you so you can turn on them as a traitor. So, and again, I was shocked that Lord Iver again, but again, Chriselle, like the murder face to face, she was somebody faithful, where nobody would have thought, or she never would have gotten banished. But same with Lord Iver, and same with and even Tom, like no one thought he was a traitor. So it's like, you know what I'm saying? And Dolores. So it's like, oh my gosh. Yeah, I get it. Um, so we go to the mission, and this is the mission the other one, I wanted to say that too about the last mission where Jam was like splashing around. I thought that was really cute.
Oh, that's this one. This is
Oh,
it.
that
This is
is
yeah, this is
duh.
where the mission is the Fountain of the Faithfuls, and there's 8 statues, and they have 30 minutes to make $16,000. But if they don't take a shield, anyone takes a shield, then the traitors can't murder. But if even one person doesn't feel secure and takes a shield, then the murdering happens. And we're not sure if people, by the end of the episode, we're not
Yep,
sure if people took shields, but I feel like
they
the
did.
group of Dorinda,
Oh, Natalie.
Natalie, Michael, who was it? Michael, Dorinda,
Michael.
Natalie. There was a fourth person.
God, who was the other? Was it a Weir? Johnny Weir?
Yup,
Yep.
Johnny, yup. I
So,
think they took a shield because
yeah, yep.
Natalie was spitting truth, and Dorinda, she said Dorinda's eyes were this big, and so I think they took a shield. And as long as they stay quiet about it, fuck it, nobody's gonna know.
Well, they won't know it's them. However, they'll know when someone's murdered, obviously. Um, the thing with that too, and I know we talked about this before, but like it is, remember last season, it was like if you don't go for a shield, it was like if you don't go for a shield, you're suspicious. You know what I'm saying? Like it was huge suspicion when Danielle kept giving up her
Girl, you're
girl.
doomed if you do, and you're doomed if you don't.
And so it's just, but to hear it universally said this season that like I'm not going to be the one going for the shield, you know what I'm saying? So don't you think Colton goes for one too, or did he end up?
No, because he ended up in a team. He
Oh
ended
yeah,
up with traitors.
and then they okay.
So it wasn't gonna help him. But the one group that I suspect might have taken the 4 shield, because it was 4 of them, and they were like, if we don't say nothing to nobody, they won't know.
I know who care. I would totally go and take those shields. Would you
And
not?
only 2 of the statues had 4 shields in them. Everyone else is thinking there's only one along the way.
Yep.
They don't know that there's statues with 4. It was the last ones.
100, yeah,
Um,
I would have taken one too. And I like that Natalie stood up and said that, like, let's like stop beating around the bush here and let's just take these. We need people like that. So I loved that. That was good. So that's a type of mission where it's like, woo, it has a little bit of spice. So we like that.
Yeah, those are the
See,
kinds I like. So then they go back into the house, everyone gets cleaned up. Dorinda is talking to Stephen in the library. Ron walks in and they start
mm,
talking to him, and Stephen says to Ron, "Who do you think it is?" And he says, "I am 90% sure on 2 traitors." And he's like, "Who are the 2 traitors?" And he says, "It's Michael and Dorinda." So now Stephen, the camera's just showing him like he's probably like when someone tells you you're talking to a traitor, you start like, is this bitch pulling the wool over my eyes? Like, am I talking to a traitor? Like, what do you do with that information? And all Dorinda replies is, I haven't voted for you once. That's what what she tells him. And they start arguing, and he's like, you not voting for me doesn't mean that you're not a traitor, which is
yeah.
true, Ron. That's accurate. Like, just because you haven't voted for me doesn't mean you're not a traitor. And then she says, and Steven's paying attention, my faithful family will stand behind me. I feel good.
See,
But
and
see,
that's why,
I didn't
like,
catch that when I watched it the first night. I only caught that now. And that's what she said in response to Ron in front of Steven. My faithful family will protect me. I feel good. Like, "Bitch, you feel so good that like, what does that mean?" Like, that would be suspicious to me.
But also, I think, and obviously we know that Dorinda's a faithful. I think that she is very much like playing this game as like I have my housewife people, I have like my people that won't go for me, and so, but it's also like we also have to. It's not just like have the well, yeah, it essentially is you wanna have people on your side, you need, like, the numbers, but they're not everybody is playing like, that's the thing with this game is you are with people who don't play it like Big Brother or Survivor or
Oh,
we
but
need,
Dorinda knows what she's doing. She didn't get an
yes,
opportunity to play the previous season, but she knew going into this season that she needs to be having these conversations with all these
yes,
people because usually the
yes,
housewives don't.
yes, but then there's people like Ron who's like, "No, I'm gonna look for inconsistencies. I'm gonna look for people," like, so he's like trying to play it like as more of what, an investigator, but I feel like
What
he
else
doesn't have
can he
anybody.
do?
What else can he do? And he doesn't have
He's
anyone at this
already on the
point, so
outs. All he can do now is pay attention and listen when people are talking and try to find someone slipping up, you know. Sometimes when you're sitting there listening, not contributing to the conversation, you end up hearing something, you know, that
yeah,
someone else that's in the conversation might not pick up on. Um,
he ain't having fun though no more.
no, he's not.
Mm-mm.
He's not having any kind of fun, and the suspicion
Which
will
is
always be there.
Which is just like, so again, so stupid and it sucks and that just it happened to him, and so it is what it is. Because again, it's like, well, let's all go hard on all the other people who were wrong with things. He's not the only one who had a wrong, but I think the bigger thing to pay attention to is that he wasn't saying a lot and then came into the round table and had all of these facts or whatever, and it's like, people don't realize it was early on in the game. You're not gonna be spilling that to everyone because you don't know who to trust yet, so, ugh,
Yeah.
anyway.
Yeah.
I'll get over it. So, what happens next? So then we have,
No, so then while that's happening in the library with Dorinda, Steven, and Ron, Colton is in the kitchen telling everyone that Michael voted out every single person except Jam Jam in
oh
front
yeah,
of
yeah,
Rob.
yeah.
And Rob's like, "What?" And they're like, "Yeah, he voted out." And here comes Michael. He's like, "All I want to do was eat vegetables, and all they do is keep talking about me." So anyway, Michael just tells him, "You're a failed ringleader. You got egg on your face." And then just the fighting continues between them. And then you called me, so I didn't get to rewatch the last as they're heading into the banishment table, which we know what happened, but it's neat to go back and rewatch and listen to all these little sound bites that we hear and
'Cause I didn't listening to it the second time, that's when I had heard I had thought that he had just straight up said I thought Michael had said to Colton, the lied for 29 years, but he just said, "You if anyone knew how to keep a secret, it would be you." And so
people just
then
want
I
to
lit
jump on a bandwagon when you're at the round table. Let's be real.
but I do think it seeing to like Colton tear up and whatever, obviously it hit a chord and people by that point I think all just joined together more as like a moral, like, just get this asshole out of here. We're sick of him. This is inappropriate. This is I wouldn't personally compare like I saw a lot of comparisons to like the Zeke and the like, outing him, and I feel like this was more was this, like, not okay and morally yes, it's not okay to do that. To put the game in that personal, like, it's just gross to do, 100%, but I don't feel like it's on it's gross, but I don't feel like it's on the same level as, like, Zeke and, like, completely outing somebody in a game like, that's wasn't even strategic, that was just gross,
Yeah, I didn't
and
even
same with
take it like that, but there are so many people saying like Michael was right. When they went back and rewatched everything Colton was saying and doing, then they sympathize more with Michael, but Michael is out of the picture now. And I think before they went to the round table, because like I said, you have minimum 16 hours in the castle with these people. I think they talked enough about Michael that even if he wasn't a traitor, they wanted him out of there because he was such a huge distraction. They were willing to part ways with him. It is what it is.
yeah, oh,
But
a
Colton ain't out of
hundred
the woodwork. He
a
ain't in the
hundred
clear.
percent. And that's why it's like, gosh, you gotta be a little and that's the like, I hate comparing the Tom whatever, 'cause Tom was just kinda like dumb no, I don't wanna even say dumb, whatever. He was just, like, clueless versus Michael's just like, oh. Um, but
But that's
people
the thing, I think I could get along with Michael, like, all his shenanigans wouldn't even
real
bother me,
real
like, with him, you get what he says what he says, he means what he says, and he says what he means, like,
I would love to see you 2 interact.
put us
Do you
on
think
another
that
season together. Bring Michael.
I don't think can you see him coming back?
I don't see why not.
But it did make me think like, wow,
He was on the
'cause
screen more than the Traitors.
no, I know. Yeah, they like controversy, which I was how a lot of people were like, there's so many and obviously even like Facebook draw and I don't go on Facebook, but you know how people will say like the Facebook fans are different than the Reddit fans are different than the and or just different the Twitter for whatever. Eh, there's been so many people who are like, we are so grossed out by Russell Hantz. We don't want him on. And for a while, I was like, wow, I think now like we're in 2026. They're not going to bring those people that are super controversial back but seeing someone like him, I'm like, "Wow," I'm shocked that they haven't like, that Russell hasn't been on, am I right at this point? Because I thought it was just his how controversial he is outside of the game, that's why he hasn't been on.
No, I think the problem is the spoiling, the things he says about the show and the production, and like you give someone a shot, and then all they do is shit on you. So you can't shit where you eat.
What has he
Or you
been
don't ever
doing?
get
Is
shots again. No, I don't follow him, but throughout the years, I know, like, I think when they voted him out of Australian Survivor, he went on this rant about how it was fake and this, that, and the third. You know what I'm saying? Like, people don't want to give you a shot in their game if you're
no.
gonna be putting out you know what I'm saying? Like, it's
Oh,
real.
why does he do yeah, and I know people again, it I don't know, you need somebody to, like, root against, and you do, you can't just have everybody be that's what unfortunately, that's what makes shows kinda good sometimes when you have drama, duh, but then it gets to a lot like, "Alright, we're done with this, like, we're you can leave," and I think this was a perfect time for him to just leave.
Yeah, I think I covered everything that I wrote down because, like I said,
Yeah,
now
same too.
they were heading into banishment, and after that, the traders were gonna go figure out who they
Oh.
would go ahead.
I do I do agree with what, um I do agree with what Michael said, though, about Colton, and we already went over this about being humble and all that, but just tell like, he's coming out here, like, you just were wrong. You just had a very wrong read, and I know that and Michael's pissed because he was with Ti like, working with Tiffany, so I get that too. But I think that he was spot on with everything that he did say to Colton in the kitchen about, yeah, like, humble your like, be a little
Humble
quieter,
yourself, you were the
humble yourself,
ringleader.
and you were just wrong, so, like, quit going in hot, like
No, and his response was, "If I miss a shot, I'll shoot again." Like, he does not care. He played football he went into this whole speech about, "I played football for 17 years, and I'll do this and I'll do that." Okay, well, atente a las consecuencias, which means then be ready for the fallout and everything that happens afterwards. So, that
what do you think it is about him that you're kinda like or you're not rooting for Colton either?
is something about him I just can't stand. Because
Yes,
for for instance, I remember when I went in on Max and a couple of people followed my lead, and because I thought that he was smirking and smiling when people were getting voted off and was making fun of it, he said it was out of nervousness that he was smiling. And the minute that we got a faithful because of what I had said, like we went in on him, then I felt like, oh my God, I better take a step back because I don't know what I'm doing. But for him to say, like, I'll shoot my shot, and if I miss, I'll shoot again. Like, Imma do whatever I like, dude, slow down. Calm down,
and
especially when you got
there
heat on you.
there's certain people too, I feel like that can get away with, like, being, like, snarky. I don't what is it? And this is I didn't know crap about him. I still haven't done, like, some deep dive on him. I don't read all, like, everything online. Um, I've heard, like, people say, like, "No, no, people have gotten over his past and whatever," and it doesn't sound like they have, but like, all of that aside, all his past stuff aside, it's just this even when he when Tiffany, "Do I spell your name with 2 F?" I why I feel like Jam Jam could have said that, and I'd be, like, laughing and thinking it was cute. He says it, and I'm just like,
I don't
"Why
know
is
that I
that?"
know any Tiffany's with one F.
No, none? Like, girl. So he said that, like, "Do I spell your name with 2 F's or 1?" And she was so good at the round table. Why is it though? What is it about him? It's just a thing. I think people, like, give off where it's either, like, you wanna root for them and they feel authentic and you're like, "Yes," and they're lovable. What is it?
With him, there's nothing. I have zero attachment to him as a fan watching the show. I'm more enjoying Jam Jam, Natalie. I'm enjoying Kristen more now that she's talking more, the chef.
Yep.
I'm enjoying Monet's gone. Um, because
Mora,
there's a
I think
couple
is
of people
fun.
that aren't saying much of anything. I'm enjoying Rob, although he's a traitor. Like I usually don't root for the
Yep.
traitors unless I know them personally. Um, because it's like you want the faithfuls to find them out. Um, and then there's just a couple of people that you really don't see much, like Mark Ballas, Mark the dancer.
Oh my gosh,
You
girl,
really don't see much of him.
I just was like,
Eric just now started talking a lot because he heard the giggle of Tiffany, which was wrong. So maybe now he will talk less. But there's those that do a lot of talking and those that just are on on the sidelines.
who's the most lovable of the season without our biases of like, we love like, Natalie and the Survivor people and Jam. Like who's the most lovable, would you say?
For me, you guys are gonna be shocked. I don't know why I was focused a lot on Michael.
Gr-
I don't know. I just
Grr.
felt like I could relate to him more, because, like we
And
say,
you're talking just so everybody doesn't hate you, which I can't protect, but like,
I
and I
just
don't think
like
it's
the
possible.
entertainment of him of anything, everything he had to say. Like Ron is over there being quiet, all like,
Ye-
like so. I mean, um, the two housewives only have all this power because they're traitors. I don't know that they'd have all this power to, you know what I'm saying? Like I don't. I,
But they're fun.
I,
They're given fun. I feel like the housewives are being fun and they're fun to watch. And again, that's what I loved about Phaedra is I felt like she just fun to watch, and I enjoyed her little one-liners, and I just thought she was just fun, and she seemed like she was enjoying herself and having fun.
Mhm.
So that's what I liked. But yeah, it's not like again, you're going into this and you're watching this as Michael like
Not
on
that
the
he's
show, not
lovable, just who I was rooting for to make it deep into the game because, you know, I got a kick out of him. Like it's gonna be boring now. Like we never got to see what Ian could bring to the table. We didn't get to see what Sesternina was gonna bring to the table. Monet is gone, Tiffany's gone.
I
Like who else do we
know.
have left that's gonna bring us joy?
Grr, grr. Well, it sure as shit isn't Michael.
No, not anymore. And now
He
I
was
bet you they're
bringing
gonna be
joy.
mad at Colton, take his ass out.
So you're saying so you're concerned. Let me just get this like right. Your concern after Michael has exited is who's going to bring the joy now that Michael's gone?
Who's gonna bring the drama? Who's gonna have me on pins and
Oh,
needles at 9 o'clock at night till 11 on Wednesdays? There ain't
so
shit else
yours
on TV.
so you're saying okay, joy as in so for you drama is joy. That's
The
what you mean.
fighting. That's exactly everything
Yes,
I
yeah.
write down. All their little quick one-liners, like, oh, that shit's funny.
So yeah, you definitely need but he reached his point of like we're done with it in my opinion, at least. It says Queen Sand.
Girl, I hope you didn't lose all of
No,
that.
I just texted you. I was like, "What the fuck?" Okay.
Oh my
All of a sudden it just
God. It went.
all of a sudden it just said Queen Sandra gone. Or it just you just left.
It went.
No, it wouldn't have. Let me see. It better.
No, it's still on 37
Okay.
minutes.
So, yeah, so who are we going to root for now? But
We're gonna root for Rob. I'm gonna root for the Traitors. Fuck it. Let them take it.
they might. So I don't like Brittany was saying that she likes it when the traders are fighting more. Do we see that happening?
Well, I mean, listen, they're after Lisa already. Well, that's been nipped in the bud, but there's still other people like Dorinda that's like, that's not how she usually acts, and she said it out loud. So as of right now, maybe I would like to know if anyone's even considering traitor angels at this point and who's protecting them and seeing how far they can go until they get you at
But
the
I
end.
feel like
Like
they don't really say that though on the show, obviously, like Trader Angel, you know what I'm saying? Which I feel like they
yeah.
should at this point because like that term is widely known. There's a lot of people who keep people close by because they know you know what I'm saying? That's a strategy. So that's why I did like the Canada one, how they would get what $10,000 when they would actually banish a traitor. I liked that incentive.
Well, I still gotta watch the Canada ones. I've never watched them.
Oh,
I felt like if Tiffany would have had more people on her side, she wouldn't have went home because Candace, the traitor, didn't even want to vote Tiffany out, and she still voted for Ron. But there was still too many people already that jumped on the
oh.
bandwagon. But you see how traitor Tiffany could have had a traitor angel in Candace.
I know. It just yeah, that exit sucks. So
It's true. When traitors are looking out for you, like I said, Rob is looking out for Maura.
100%.
Maura.
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 Maura?
Maura.
So,
Because they come from the same show, Love Island. He's looking out for her. And I bet you anytime we have to fill out that chat BCC survey for the next episode, like
what survey?
your not survey, your that fantasy league, the fantasy questions about who do you think is going to get banished, how much money, who do you think this, that, and the third. They always do it on chat BCC.
Where?
I'm going to keep Maura around because Rob is protecting her.
Girl, which thing are we
On chat BCC, when you have to, before the episode, you have to put in who do you think is going to get banished? Who do you think is going to talk first at the round table? Who do you think this, that, and the third? You get points for it. Girl, where you been?
girl, who puts that out?
It's in the chat BCC.
But who posts it each episode, or is it just in the thing?
It's in the thing. Hold on. Um,
So it's not in the chat. It's just
it's for everyone because then they put the results of who's in the who's at the top. Girl, I'm way at the bottom.
so it's a fantasy within the thing. I haven't done any of them.
Yeah, you see, like on this one, traders murder. Traders aren't playing smart 7%. Traders are overplaying 5%. Traders are doing a great job 88%
Girl, where do I find that?
on Chat
And I
BCC.
get that, but like where within? Is there something where it's like
It's on the host chat, and then they put it out to everyone. Hold on, I'll scroll up to the other one where it was like 9 questions for the next episode, and you have to fill them out and do your predictions. That's what it is,
so I
predictions.
have none because I've never filled it out.
Okay, so then you have 0. I have points right there. My picks for episode 4 and 5. Your predictions, your picks, right there.
Girl, can you send me that? I can't even see it. Can you send me that directly? Just screen.
So it shows all my picks. Let me see. I answered all these questions. I was locked in. Let me see. I got a lot of them wrong. Lord, I'm in bad shape.
Well, yeah, but
But yeah, they're my picks.
whatever is everyone else filling that thing out too?
It shows 1,242 people
Girl,
did it.
okay, crap. Okay, I'll figure it out. Okay, well, yeah, that was a great episode. Who do we think's going home next? Who do we think's murdered? Because I do think that like people pick the shield, there's gonna be a murder.
There's gonna be a murder, and people are gonna be shocked because they didn't expect anyone to grab one. I would suspect it be someone that hasn't been questioned at the round table. I don't think they're gonna bother because if you murder Ron, then who are they gonna go for at the round table? So while there's still people that have question marks next to their
Yep.
names, you don't want to get rid of them because you know those people will be banished way before they say you're probably you know what I'm
Yep.
saying? So I wouldn't touch anyone that's got a little bit of blood on their hands.
No.
I wouldn't. And we already talked about Natalie being a physical asset to them and bringing in money. I think out of everyone there, she's probably like the top one who's bringing in the dough.
And she's not
And then I'd look.
I've not heard her say to any okay, now that I'm thinking or no, who has she been like throwing out as names? It was Michael and who else?
She just throws out the same names everyone else is going with between she's in the conversations, but she might be being very quiet and not saying much because you don't wanna you don't wanna start talking mess. Um, so as far as who do I think might be going home? Someone like a Mark, someone like Steven.
See?
I don't think the 2 housewives will get rid of Dorinda because she's the last
No,
housewife.
and they already did
And
their damage without like, I feel like the Caroline, like, they're good on Housewives for throwing them.
so it's gotta be like Eric, Kristen. I'm gonna give 4 names.
Who's Eric
If
again?
it were
Eric, yeah.
me, it would be Eric, Kristen, Mark, or even Steven.
But I feel like
3 guys, 1 girl,
Steven had a few.
because they're not co Tara isn't contributing much either. Tara isn't. I'll give those 2 girls and 3 guys.
Well,
One of those 5.
either is I feel like Johnny either.
But he's always visible, he's always charming everyone, he's always talking, so I don't think they'll take him out of the mix. It's the ones that are laying lower who we haven't seen many confessionals from. That's who I would take out. I wouldn't take out anyone who's already being talked about.
Okay. But there is gonna be a murder, I think, for sure. Yay.
Oh, I'd put money. I'd put money on a murder.
Yeah, oh, yeah, there's gonna be. Well, there it is, everyone. This will be a chopped up mess, and that's the way we like it, right?
Yeah, the messier the better.
Thank you all for joining.
Listen, we have a life.
I mean, I don't really, but sometimes.
Sometimes we gotta squeeze this shit in. Fans love it. They don't even care what we're talking about, even if we're right. We're just giving our 2 cents that is so often so wrong.
Then I'm no, I know, because I don't know anything. I don't know spoilers, so
Yeah,
I
I'm
love.
not looking for spoilers.
Thanks,
All right, my love,
everyone.
so
Woo, bye.